শিব জয় জয় গোরা চাঁদের রাতিক শোভা জয় শিব জয় ও জয় গোরা চাঁদে আরতিক শোভা জয় ও জয় গাও জানারে তটবনে জগমনল ভাজা শিবা দক্ষিণে নিতাই চাঁদ মে গদা ধর দক্ষিণে নিকটে অদ্বৈত শিনী वाता छत्रधारा निकट से बाबा से अच्छे गोरा चाँद रत्न सिंहासने बसे आचे आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगणे शिव नर हरि आदि करे तमार ढोलाया नर संजय मुकुंद बासो गोचादि गाया शिवा शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शंख माधुरा मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंको माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर माधुर शिव बहु कोटे चंद्र जिने वदन उज्ज्वला बहु कोटि चंद्र गला देशेर वनमाला करी झला माला शिवा शिवा शुकनारदा प्रेमे गद गदा शिवा शुकनारदा जगुर्वाकति विनोदा देखे गुरार संपदा शिवा जायो जय गोरा चांदे आरती को शोभा जयो जाह्नवी तटवने जगामन लोभा जा जागा जाना माना लोभा जागा जगा जाना माना लोभा जागा गौरांगे रते को शोभा जग जाना माना लोभा गौरांगे रते को शोभा जग जाना माना लोभा गौरांगे रते के शोभा जगा जाना मना लोभा जगा जा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमः श्रीमते भक्ति नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पचतो देशतारिणे नमस्ते सारस्वते Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Krishna Chaitanya Hari Bol, Hari Mati. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Can everyone Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jan, no time, sing. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Bol Sab gaiye Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Oh, Jiv Jago. La Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Bola Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Nitai Goda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda. Radha Ramana Re Govinda Jai Jai Radha Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jai Radha Ramana Re Govinda Jaya Jai गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन रे गोविंद जय जय राधा राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय 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 जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय बलदेव जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी ओ जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी ओ जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 जय नित्य गौर सुंदर जय नित्य गौर सुंदर नित्य गौर सुंदर जय नित्य गौर सुंदर नित्य गौर जय राधा माधव राधे जय राधा जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन बोलो जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शना जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपा 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 जय जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमत परिविराज अष्टोदशी हे देवांग से भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शरभुवन महाराज के जय ओम नित्यलाल पवित्र भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद महाराज के जय गौर के चौदह बाबा जी महाराज के जय सच्चिदानंद भक्ति मनोहर ठाकुर के जय गुरु परंपरा के जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद के जय नामाचार्य शिल हरदास ठाकुर के जय प्रेम से गौ जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासति गौर भक्त वृंद के जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोधन के जय जय नवदीप माय प्रधाम के जय मथुरा द्वारका पुरी अयोध्या धाम के जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम के जय भगवान जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी श्री सुदर्शन चक्र के जय श्री श्री राधा माधव जी के जय गिरी गोधन गिरिराज महाराज निताय गुरुनिताय गौर सुंदर के जय गंगा माँ यमुना के जय वृंददेव भक्त देव के जय समस्त भक्त वृंद के जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के जय संकीर्तन यज्ञ के जय इस्कॉन बाल्टीमोर यात्रा की जय निता निता निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल All glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glory, Shri Shri Guru Gauranga.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय तव कर कमल बरे नाथ अद्भुत श्रृंगार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु मृंगा केशवदीत नर हरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवदीता नर हरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जगदीशा नर हरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नित्य गुरु हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गुरु हरि बोल
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we welcome everyone to ISKCON Baltimore, the Abode of Nitai Gaur Sundar Jagannath Subhadramai Giri Govardhan, the most beautiful Shri Radha Madhav. First I'd like to thank you Pujaris. The deities look so mesmerizing. So loud Haribol for them please. Our dearest Panchtattva Prabhu is cooking today, so it'll be wonderful prasadam. And we have one sponsor, Gopal Prabhu's sister, Jatila Gaidin Mataji's. Her birthday was there, so she sponsored for Blessing Your Lord. So we can have loud Haribol for 3 times, please. Haribol! 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 May Krishna bless her with a lot of Krishna consciousness, so she can advance the Krishna consciousness for that. So I think we have few announcements. If Kushi here, Kushi please come. She's going to announce us some wonderful news which we'll be sharing with you. Next week is a very special program itself. You know, last week we had a snowstorm. It was icy, so Jagannath was very mad that devotees didn't come. He didn't get his Chappan Bhoga. So Hare Krishna Prabhu was fault at that, so we can blame him for that. So we're going to move the program. Next week is a very beautiful program. I think next Sunday is also a Basant Panchami. And also we'll have Chappan Bhog together. So we're going to glorify Jagannath and we're going to glorify Radha Krishna pastimes also. So both things will come together for that. So, and then also don't forget, 10th is Nityanand Turdashi. It'll be very amazing. And on the occasion of Nityanand Turdashi, I want to give to Kushi the mic. Everyone knows Kushi? Haribo, yes. You don't know her? So you have to go out to Dandavat 108 times. Haribo.
Hare Krishna, everybody. On behalf of the ISKCON Baltimore community, myself as well as the other Kirtanyas, this temple would like to announce a new initiative that we have taken upon by the mercy of our Dayal Nityananda Prabhu. After Nityananda Tridasi, starting on February 11th, every single day for 2 hours, our Kirtan will be doing a 2-hour Kirtan from Sunday to Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. So with this initiative, as many of you may be knowing, that my friends and I have been doing Kirtan for 8 years, every Friday and Sunday, continuously. And we want to open that opportunity, that service opportunity to everybody here at this temple, Mataji's, Prabhuji's, little kids, everybody. So in order to do that, I would like to ask some help from everybody here, that if you are interested in doing Kirtan, from February 11th onwards, and we're going to try to make this go for as many years as we can. If you are interested in doing Kirtan, or if you have a family member that's interested in doing Kirtan, you can either contact Nilmada Prabhu, or you can contact me or talk to me. And we are going to be hosting another seminar. We just had one upstairs, but we'll be having another one for those that couldn't attend on February 9th. If you are interested in taking part of the service, then attendance at that February 9th seminar is mandatory. You'll be hearing from myself, from Jaidev, from Arvinda Nayana, as well as some of the other youth to basically lay the foundation of Kirtan and what it means to be doing Kirtan here in Baltimore. And one thing that Arvinda Nayana was saying earlier is that we are so fortunate that despite being in a city like Baltimore here, one of the worst and most dangerous cities in the world, we still have this opportunity to clean our souls by doing Kirtan. So if you are interested, you can approach Nilmada Prabhu, Arvinda Nayana, Jaidev, or myself, and we can give you more details for the February 9th seminar. And we want to start off this Akhanda Nam Kirtan on the right foot with the mercy of our Lordships, Srila Prabhupada, and the blessing of all Vaishnavas. Thank you.
So just one correction, we're not going to go a few years, we're going to go Akhand. We're never going to stop because we know mercy of Nityananda. When we start something here, we never stop. So he's a doer. They are the originator of this music festival, which we call it the Nam Kirtan. And I think this is 2 hours, just a starting. As the mercy flows, we'll extend it to like 4-6 hours. Hopefully one day we could have 24-hour Kirtan for that, Krishna's mercy. Okay, without taking too much time, it's a packed schedule. For like 5-10 minutes, we'll have a quick presentation. Mataji is going to introduce. And then after that, the reason we invited all of you for mandatory training program will start.
Hare Krishna to all dear parents. Please accept my humble obeisances. As you all know, our Sunday school kids are presenting Bhagavad Gita summarizing like monthly once. Today, Anirudh will be presenting. He's Anirudh, and he's a very sincere kid who comes regularly for the Kirtan, and he plays wonderfully harmonium and mridangam. Today he'll be summarizing the Bhagavad Gita. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Today I'll be talking about chapter 9 of the Bhagavad Gita. It is known as the most confidential knowledge. You can start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raita Advaitam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jagatate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostade Anjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prabhanarusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. So there are many acronyms in the Bhagavad Gita. The one for this chapter is known as King. It stands for knowledge, inconceivable relationship, non-worship, and glories of bhakti. So a little summary of the second text. The knowledge that is provided in the Bhagavad Gita is about eternal activities of the soul and gives positive information about the soul. So section 1 of this chapter, qualifications and disqualifications to receive knowledge. So the non-envious and faithful will attain Krishna by hearing this most confidential knowledge about him. Example is Arjuna. He was non-envious and faithful towards Krishna, so he was more than qualified to receive this knowledge from Krishna. Faithlessness forces one to return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So by hearing this knowledge, one gets relief from material miseries, such as the cycle of birth and death, and becomes cleansed. So the 8th verse, Krishna explains that everything is under his control. So in the second section, Lord Krishna's relationship to the material world. Krishna pervades, creates, and annihilates entire cosmos through his material energy. So this is done through his 3 expansions as Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So this means that his energy is present everywhere in the material world, inside people like you and me, inside of many different things. And he's not limited to this creation, and he remains separate and transcendental. Second point is that he is supreme director, yet the material world nevertheless moves independently, and Krishna thus remains neutral and detached. So Krishna being Krishna, he's the supreme personality of Godhead. So whatever happens in this material world, he is unaffected by it, yet this material world cannot move on without him. So text 9.13 is about how Mahatmas, who are souls of the divine or good people, they are under the protection of Krishna because they are fully engaged and aware of Krishna's transcendental nature. So the third section is about how fools neglect bhakti and the divine don't. So there are 3 types of people that are mentioned in this section. Duratmas are fools who think that Krishna's form is ordinary and they are defeated in their endeavors. So Duratmas include people like demons, materialists, atheists. So Duratma will look at Superman. He's all the way up in the sky, right? He would look at Superman, he would be like, oh, it's just a human who can jump really high. The same way, he looks at Krishna as an ordinary human who has very dark blue skin. So these people are influenced by material ignorance and Maya, and as a result, their spiritual endeavors fail and they're caught in this cycle of birth and death. The next type of people are Mahatmas, who are known to Krishna and they have a relationship with him, in the meaning that they worship him on a daily basis and surrender to him. So Mahatmas include people like the six Goswamis, disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prahlad Maharaj, and Narada Muni. Now these people, their names are up there for a reason because they dedicated basically their entire life to Krishna, so therefore they ended up with Krishna. And then indirect worshippers are people who take shelter of a conception of the Supreme and worship it. They're ultimately worshiping Krishna, but indirectly. So these people are not aware that they are worshiping Krishna. Instead, they just do it blindly without knowing. There are three types. Ekatvena, which is the lowest. He thinks of himself as God, and in the way he kind of worships Krishna. Vishwatomukam concocts some form of the Supreme and worships that form. Prithakvena is a demigod worshipper, and technically speaking, he is higher than Ekatvena because he knows that he is not God, but he is someone else who is a follower of God. So this is the last text in the chapter. Madmanabhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yukta evam atmana madparayana. The translation reads, engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer my obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So this, Krishna says this because if you fully engage your life to Krishna, then that means that you will come to him because of how much devotional service you have committed your life to. This brings us to the last section, which is the glories of devotional service to Krishna. The first point is pure devotional service. If one worships Krishna with devotion or even offers him the fruit of his work, one becomes free from reactions and comes to him. Worship is simple and the result is super excellent. So as we all know, this world is made by Krishna, and the fruits that grow in this soil are also made by him. Yet we offer that fruit to him, and since we do, Krishna is quite pleased with that. So if that counts as devotional service, and he will be quite pleased with that. Next point is how Krishna shows favoritism to his devotee. He considers a devotee saintly even if he committed a horrible act, and he quickly purifies this devotee. Do you all know who Brigumani is? Okay, I'll tell you a quick pastime. The Brigumani is a sage. He went around of Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. He went around kicking their chests and saw what would happen. But Shiva and Brahma got quite upset with him, and they were doing many things to him. But Vishnu, on the other hand, when Brigumani kicked his chest, Vishnu actually never got mad. He actually felt quite bad because his chest is very hard, and he asked Brigumani, "Is your chest okay? Because is your foot okay? Because I have a very hard chest." This shows how even Krishna sees that Brigumani is quite saintly, and even though he has committed a horrible act of kicking Lord Vishnu's chest, he quickly purified him. The last point is that devotional service purifies all. By thinking of Krishna, offering him obeisances, and being absorbed in him, one goes back to Godhead regardless of his position. So I was reading a quote the other day. It goes like, you came into this world with nothing, and you leave this world with nothing. So that means that you came into this world without any money, any fame, no status, and no possessions. And those are the things that you work for all of your life. Yet when it's time for you to leave this world, you leave with none of it. The only thing that you leave with in this world is the amount of devotional service you have towards Krishna. The key takeaways are that one must be non-envious and faithful to receive the most confidential knowledge. Everything emanates and rests within Lord Krishna, but he is aloof from all material activities. One should take shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord and always worship him with unalloyed devotion. And lastly, one should always remember the Lord and commit his life to him. That being said, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
It's so wonderful that we can have one again. Loud Haribol for him, please. Haribol. You know, this is a surrender which you give. These kids at Sunday school so wonderful. They practice Bhagavad Gita and sharing with all the stuff. Many people probably don't even understand many of the points. So just in a tablet form they brought. And now Bhagavad Gita, you can just read one shloka a day. Like today, it's most confidential knowledge. We go home, read one verse, and you'll see that life will change completely for that one. Okay, so we have one more announcement. Premdam Prabhu just come and do an announcement. And then after that, we have the major program. It is there. Prabhu, can you pull the wire? It looks like a serpent to me. Pull it up, please.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, so first thing I'll request everybody to scoot forward a bit. We can accommodate 5,000 people in this room. Yeah, thank you. And you can come to the front. Yeah, that's good, that's good. That's enough, Jagdish. Not more than that. Okay, so what we wanted to do just quickly is, so I'm not sure if you all know about Bhakti Vriksha program. So Bhakti Vrikshas are a transformative spiritual program wherein small groups, they come together and there's a focus on individual growth. And the small group, they come together, they read Bhagavad Gita, they read about Bhakti Yoga, and then, a lot of practical application of Bhakti Yoga. It helps in foster very focused individual development of people. And what we do is that for people through the Bhakti Vriksha who have picked up chanting, so we appreciate and celebrate that milestone for them. If somebody has picked up chanting, because as many of you know who takes up chanting, it's a very rare thing. Rarely anybody picks up chanting and progresses on this path. So we celebrate that milestone to appreciate those people who have picked up chanting, but also as an inspiration to other devotees to pick up chanting. So we'll be just quickly giving certificates to devotees who have been a part of the Bhakti Vriksha program and who have picked up chanting. So we'll call out names and then request devotees to come forward.
Raja Prabhu, he's here. Haribol.
Please, we can keep clapping. It's not a problem. Yes. Praveen Prabhu. Achha.
I think just like the amount of energy put in chanting, you should have clapping also.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Pushkala. Oh, there she is coming. Yugandhar. Oh, Yugandhar Prabhu is there. Umesh, where is Umesh? Oh, there's Umesh, she's coming. Hare Krishna. Sumit Prabhu is not here. Swarnalata, not here. Ipsita. I saw Ipsita. Where was she? There she is. Okay, Ipsita. Next is Papia. Papia is not here. Probably we'll give it to Ipsita first. Papia. Ravinder Collins. No. Rashmi. No. Sandeep Mehta. Where's Pratyush Prabhu? Pratyush. Oh, there she is. Lakshmi. Sampath. There. Dr. Kiran Annam Das. Oh, okay. Rajiv. Rajiv, where's Rajiv? Not here? Achal. Achal, there's Achal's coming. And Santi Shanmugavel. She's also coming. Yep, wait a minute. Shanti, Lakshmi. Thank you. Shanti. Hi, thank you. Pavan. No? Okay.
So we can. This is so amazing. Some of them have started chanting 1 round, some 2, but many of them chanting 16 rounds. So loud Haribol for all of them, please. You know, this is a commitment, not for we don't believe in chanting is but chanting is for chanting. Chanting purifies our mind. Chanting gives us deal with stress, and most importantly, chanting pleases Krishna. So all of these coming together in chanting, it makes a difference because you're bringing something special in your heart itself. The most loved, who were looking for millions of lifetimes, finally in this lifetime we found the secret treasure for that. So keep chanting. We recommend all more devotees should come and chant. And if you are consistent for probably 6 months or something, right? Then we glorify you in front of Lord, and you pray to Lord that if you're chanting 1 round, hopefully near future chant 2 rounds. 2 rounds, you chant 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16. 16 rounds, 32 rounds like that for that. So pray to Krishna, bless all of them so they can continue their bhakti amazingly. So thank you. Loud Hari for all of you. Thank you. So now the most important program which we are coming here, we are very thankful to all of you for participation because I think this is very important for ISKCON as society, that what Sri Prabhupada visioned, that we can make this a very strong society with very strong ideals itself. And I think for that I would like to present, everybody knows Vishnupriya Mataji, all of you know. She's Mataji for more than 15. She's been part of the Child Protection Agency, part of so many different committees all over the US, just to provide safeguard the temple, the whole kids, Krishna conscious kids, and also adults also from different kinds of activities goes through that one. And they are ably supported by Radha Leela Mataji. They are in group, Rajchandri Mataji and Sundaran Prabhu. So it's a very nice group. We call it Safe Temple Care Group. And I thought that today is very important day. Once a year we present these important knowledge for all of you. Sometimes we take things for granted. But I think it's very important that we keep ears and eyes open completely all time to be vigilant when things happen. So without taking too much time, Vishnupriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Just a few housekeeping items. So each one of the committee member, they are going to share some information about how to keep our temple safe and our congregation safe. This is a mandatory training for all of you who are coming to temple, would like to volunteer for services. So we want to make sure that we do have your attendance today. And the fact that you are here, sitting in the room and listening to us today counts as your attendance. So Vijay Prabhu is going to pass on some clipboards. This is again just for internal record purpose. So we're collecting just everyone's first name and last name. We're not going to be sending you any emails or any spams or any donation request or anything. This is just to take attendance for today's training event. Okay? All right. So make sure everyone please signs your first name, last name, and pass it on in the back once you're done. Thank you. And without further delay, we'll start today's presentation with Sundaranand Prabhu.
Yeah, he's coming. He's moving it to the screen. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome everyone to the program. I'll offer brief praise to Prabhupada and we'll start. Namam Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschadya Starine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavunda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you. Thank you for making the time. So, four of us will go through small sections. So, I'll introduce you to the overall program, what is Safe Temple Committee. So, we'll start with the Prabhupada, one of the purport from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter. First. Come in slide. Here also. It's already slideshow mode. Okay. And share it again. I can share something in the meantime. So I thought I will share some context, and the overall theme is about protection in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, 8th chapter. The context is that after the Kurukshetra war happens between Pandavas and Kauravas, then Yudhishthira Maharaj, along with his relatives who were available at that time, they go to the Ganges and they want to offer Ganges water to the dead relatives, whoever was dead in the Kurukshetra war. So in that context, what is described is they offer all the waters to all the dead relatives. And the verse itself describes how so many people were dead in the Kurukshetra war because of injustice to women, Draupadi. So that's how the verse context is. In that context, Sri Prabhupada takes the opportunity to educate us on Vedic culture, Brahmanical culture, and importance of protection. So, like Nilamada Prabhu was sharing, how whatever we are doing it for pleasing Krishna. And all of us are practicing Vaishnava culture. We want to become Vaishnavas. We're practicing to become Vaishnavas. So, one of the main principles of Vaishnava culture is respect. And one of the ways we demonstrate respect to others is also by offering protection to others. And in the purport of this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Prabhupada offers that in the Vedic culture, five categories of people are very, very important. 5 categories of living entities are very, very important for protection. So it starts with Brahmanas. Brahmanas are the head of the society, like we know from Bhagavad Gita. So Brahmanas need to be offered protection. Why? Because they are guiding the society in maintaining the Varnashrama institution. They are giving the spiritual knowledge for us to achieve the ultimate goal of life. So that's why Brahmanas need to be given protection. And Brahmanas also, traditionally Brahmanas don't work, take salary or anything. So they offered protection by offering them whatever they need to live, whatever they need to practice spiritual life like that. Ultimately, protection is at multiple levels, like you see in a couple slides also. Physical protection, emotional protection, and spiritual protection. So in order to spiritually protect everybody in this society, we also need to offer physical protection and emotional protection so that they can nurture a spiritual life and they can achieve the spiritual goal also. So in that context, Brahmanas, first category we talked about is Brahmanas. We need to protect the Brahmanas in Vedic culture. Next category is cows. And Prabhupada writes how cows give us miraculous food, milk for us. And what is the benefit of milk? By drinking cow's milk, it nourishes the finer tissues of brain. Why is that important to us for practitioners of devotion service? Because that will help us to understand the spiritual subtle subject matter easily. So that is why cows need to offer protection. Cows give milk products that we use for abhishek, that we use for daily worship, that we use for fire sacrifices like that. So for Brahminical culture, basically this is very important to protection of Brahmanas first we talked about and the cows next. And the third thing is women. Women are important to protect in Vedic culture also. Why? Prabhupada writes in the purport how when we protect women, the children will be chaste. When the women are chaste, then the children are pure. That means they can invite pure souls. And that way, society will be in peace and harmony also. And when a pious soul comes into this world, then they are given opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness like that. So women need to be protected. That is the third category. We talked about Brahmanas, cows, and then women. And then the fourth category of living entities that Prabhupada talks about is children. Children needs to be given protection. So that why? Because that is the right time for them to introduce Krishna consciousness, to introduce the right samskaras for them. They are like sponges we hear commonly. They capture the bhakti in a clean, innocent heart initially. Then when they have that initial training, then they can go to the Varnashram model of Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and if so desire, Sannyasi also, like that. So that's the fourth category. Brahmanas, cows, women, children. Now, old men. The last category is old people. Old people also, we need to offer protection to them. Again, physical, emotional, and spiritual level. So old people, why do we need to offer protection to them? They have served the society so much. They've given their whole life for their family, relatives, and rest of the society also. Understanding their great contribution to the society, we need to protect the old people. How do we protect from spiritual perspective? From spiritual perspective, give them some peace of mind. Give them time so that we don't tell them, take care of my children all the time like that. So that they can practice their spiritual life like that. We give them time so that they can practice spirituality nicely. So that is how we can, Vedic culture recommends we offer protection to Brahmanas, cows, women, children, and old men. Good. So there is the introduction for this. There is a quote also, Prabhupada. Yeah, we can go to the next slide, Prabhuji. So this is a lecture of Srila Prabhupada gave in Los Angeles, where is underscoring this point in a summary fashion. Is women, children, Brahmanas, and cows should be given full protection. This is the real human civilization. And our temples must uphold this principle. So Prabhupada wanted his temples also to uphold the principles of Vedic culture. Go to the next slide, Prabhuji. So this is what Nilamadhu Prabhu announced. These are all the Safe Temple committee members, all of us. Vishnu Mataji, Radhalil Mataji, Ashadrik Mataji, and Nilamadhu Prabhu. All of you know. And myself, yeah. So the idea of introducing all of us to you is so that way you feel comfortable to reach any one of us if anything that you need help in these areas that I'm going to cover in the next slide. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, you're here, right? Okay. So this is the purpose of the Safe Temple Committee. So basically, yeah, I'll refer this. Oh, thank you. Okay, perfect. So first of all, ISKCON takes child protection very seriously. That is one aspect of protection out of 5 categories we talked about, right? So there's a child protection office in the globally and in North America also. And then they mandate that we need to, every temple needs to have a committee that ensures the child protection is properly done in the temple like that. So that is the first reason Safe Temple Committee is there. And the second aspect here being described is, in our temple, we are going beyond the children, understanding that protection need to be offered to everyone in the society, like we discussed in the first slide. So that's why we want to promote a safe, nurturing environment for all individuals. That is not just children, but adults also. Not just women, everyone, basically. So that is the idea with the Safe Temple Committee. So it's not limited to only children. Another aspect here you are seeing is, what is the purpose of this Safe Temple Committee? First is, anytime some problem is there, we want to prevent. First thing is we try to prevent the problem. So that is the first mission, the last point here you are seeing on the slide. So how do you prevent? By creating awareness about the topic. So that's why we are here. Rest of the team will talk about different things that you need to learn, you need to know, you need to be aware of like that. That way we can prevent the problem before it happens like that. But all the cases we cannot prevent, we know, in the world, in the life. So when the problem really happens, what do we want to do? We want to create a confidential mechanism. There are 2 more points not coming in the slide. We want to create a confidential mechanism for people to share with us. They can share with any one of the Safe Temple Committee. So that way, we can do something about it, instead of everybody being silent. We'll talk more about it in coming slides. So that's the other aspect of it. So when the incident happens, so some way to share confidentially, that aspect. And then other aspect is, we want to facilitate a safe and trusting environment so that everybody can grow in Krishna consciousness without any worries in protection like that. So I'll give to Raschandrika Mataji will cover the next slides.
Hey Krishna. Hari Bol. I'm Rasa Chandrika Devidasi for the people who don't know me. Here we will be discussing in this next one, what is abuse? So if you want to know that we have a problem and we need to rectify it, first we need to know what the problem is. So we will go in detail. We have 3 categories in here. We have one physical, sexual, emotional. We will elaborate it in the next slide. And physical, as everybody understand here, it is a non-accidental act or behavior that is causing injury or trauma to any other person. That we cover in physical. When it's a sexual abuse, is also referred as molestation. We'll discuss about it in the further slide. And emotional. Emotional and verbal abuse includes insults, which is sometimes we take it really lightly. Insults, just like talking very casually, we forget about it and we insult the person in front of us, is also an abuse. This needs to be recognized. And attempts to scare or isolate or also control another person. These are also under emotional abuses that come. If I could move on to thank you. So now we'll understand what is harassment. Intimidation. Intimidation can be caused even by stalking. In today's generation, we see with such amazing social media, the cons of it is even bad. Stalking can create a very unfavorable conditions for the person who's under that threat. Unwanted advances is unwanted actions from somebody. If somebody says no, it's no. If you go beyond that, it means it is abuse, which needs to be addressed. Then unwelcome verbal or physical behavior. Here, person can slyly just comment something which is absolutely inappropriate, and that is also counted as an abuse. Sharing inappropriate content or making comments. We do this very easily. Sometimes people just say, oh, I just said something, I did not do anything. Nah, that's an abuse too. Having a verbal communication which is inappropriate is absolute abuse. It's a harassment. And having physical unwanted advances is also under harassment. So first thing why we are going in detail is we identify what the problem is, and then we'll get onto the solutions. Then bullying. Bullying is something, again, becoming very much a norm in the society. Oh, I just said that. I didn't mean it, but you still said it. Verbal. Bullying is it actually puts a person in such a shell that the person is not able to come out of it. That hampers his or her bhakti. So here we'll get into the details. Intentionally hurting, physically, verbally, or psychologically. I can just pass on a comment again and again, putting the person down, which can actually hamper his or her bhakti. So this should also be stopped. It's absolutely not tolerated in our temple also. And then social media bullying. We sometimes think that on social media, if adults are not seeing and kids are doing it, we kind of ignore it. It's not happened. No. Social media bullying, especially between the teenagers, is a very, very prime thing. Leads a person to intense anxiety, depression. This is not what is tolerated in our community. Bullying is also more associated with kids. It's not so. It happens with adults too. Adults do bully each other, sometimes to put themselves down. Absolutely, we know it's because of ego. And then intimidation. We do intimidate people in such a manner that the person who is being intimidated will eventually stop coming to the temple. This is absolutely not accepted. Everybody over here are in their own journey of bhakti, and that should be supported in very favorable conditions. Such kind of negative conditions where bullying is prominent is not accepted in our temple. And then we move on to the next one, Prabhuji. Thank you. Assault. We very easily, it just goes by the word. Physical assault, hitting intentionally, is absolutely not accepted in here. And making threats also. I will see you later. This is also not accepted. I mean, you don't have to see anything anywhere. So assault, physical, verbal, in any way is an abuse which will not be accepted. It's not accepted in outside world, but thoroughly not in here. And we also have to understand that our temple, we'll have to do this together. It's not one-man job. It takes village to raise the child. Similarly, this is a congregation where we are cultivating bhakti, and it needs to be done together. Not one person is responsible for it. Is the reason we are accommodated here together, to understand what we have to do so that our bhakti can be good. Hai bol, Didi.
All right. Thank you, Ras Chandrika. So we'll move to our next section. This is a very wonderful quote. I'm going to thank two people for this quote. Of course, this is a quote from Srila Prabhupada, but thanks to Sundaranand Prabhu for helping us find that, and also thanks to ChatGPT, and for the wonderful devotees that help it create. I'm going to advertise this for everyone. If you're looking for any quotations for Srila Prabhupada and have struggle finding it, I juggle with my memory. How many of you juggle with your memory here? Yeah, me too. That's okay. So now you have ChatGPT, which is just for Veda-based, which devotees can share with you, those who are active in book distribution. It's a wonderful tool. You can find wealth of information from Prabhupada's scriptures. So this is one of the quotes that Srila Prabhupada mentioned. It's actually written to a letter to Brahmanand in 1972. Temple is meant to uplift everyone, not to create fear or discomfort. Any form of mistreatment is against the principles of Krishna consciousness. This is the mood that we are trying to imbibe and serve through this presentation today. So, before I get started in talking, I just want to say and offer my humble request and prayers. If there is anything that I say or any of the team members that has offended you in any way or make you felt discomfort, we are here for you. We are here to support as well. So feel free to bring that to our attention. There is a zero tolerance policy in the temple for any kind of non-Vaishnava behavior. Again, Raschandrika listed what those non-Vaishnava behaviors are. There are a few things that I want to mention that when we say this word zero tolerance, like what are we really doing with that zero tolerance? One of the first things that we are trying to do is obviously have a committee, so that you see standing today. The second thing, we are trying to take some preventative measures of offering this yearly training for everyone who comes to the temple. In the past, we have had some incidences that have brought to our attention, and so temple has really tried their best to take appropriate measures just for the well-being of the rest of the congregation. By all means, the mood is not of punishment. The mood is of how can we ensure that the rest of our congregation is safe. So that is what we mean, and that is what really translates as zero tolerance. And the temple, if anybody needs any help in the community, obviously we're not the only ones who are here all the time. So we need everyone's help and everyone's involvement in this process. Can we go to the next? So this is going to be a little interactive session. I do wish for some participation. From everything you heard, are there any thoughts as to what can be more harmful than what you already heard? Sure.
Trauma.
Trauma, okay. Trauma is one. Yes, Prabhu? Neglect. Ooh, that's a nice one. Thank you. I'll have to put that on my slide next time. Anyone else? Anyone else from Mataji's side? Yes, Mata. To degrade someone. Absolutely, that is all part of abuse. Today we are going to focus on some of these aspects, and I really liked what Prabhu in the back mentioned. So that is going to take us to our next section. Can we go to the next slide? Have anyone heard here the culture of silence? Is anyone aware of this term, culture of silence? How many of you know this term? Can I have some hand raises if you know? If you don't know, that's fine. We're going to learn about it today. Basically, the culture of silence is what connects to neglect. Something we see and we're like, oh, it's okay. I'm just going to forget about it. It wasn't that bad. It just happened once, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I didn't even see anything. Sometimes we live in that space in our head where we're just like, maybe you saw something, but you didn't want to make much of it. And so you're just like, I'm just going to forget about it, Sometimes we're like, wait, what are people going to say if I actually shared something? Are they going to doubt my character? What are the consequences of it? Why should I really even bother? Right? And then for some devotees, they might think like, oh, I don't want to lose my service. What if someone turns it around and brings it all on me and I'm not involved and now I don't get to do my service? I should just keep my head down and just chant my rounds, go to temple, and call it peace, right? And then we have, when I really say something, is anyone going to care? Are they even bothered? Like, if nobody really cares and bothers about it, why even mention it? These are some of the thoughts that comes to our mind, which contributes to this culture of silence. This happens to all of us, Either we inherit from our parents, we somehow inherit from the culture that we come in, with the society that we interact, with the gender that we are in, with our life experiences. Sometimes it is even related to the trauma, just like Keshav mentioned trauma, absolutely a valid point. You might have had a traumatic event in the past where nothing was done, and so now you have this belief, a strong belief in you, that nothing's ever going to change in the world, and so why should I even bother saying anything? And then we say, forget it. They'll think maybe I'm just lying, or maybe I'm just making it up, right? And then this is very important, the last one which says, will I be making any offense against people? This comes very deeply ingrained in our Vaishnava tradition as well. And in Bhagavad Gita 2.4, where Arjuna himself, now you can imagine this is Krishna's own friend, Arjuna, right? He has the protector of the whole universe right next to him. And Arjuna is still thinking in the middle of battlefield, can I really speak against my superiors? He knew what Dronacharya did. He knew what Dhritarashtra did. He knew what Bhishma Pitama was doing, right? Everybody knew what was going on. But there was this deep root, tradition that, oh, you don't speak against your superiors, or you don't question authority just because you see something funny that's happening, So it is very important that we recognize some of these inherent traits that we all have within us, which contributes to this culture of silence. This culture of silence is actually extremely harmful. It is more harmful than actual abuse itself. Does anyone have any clues in which ways it is more harmful? Does this really hurt anyone if I just kept my mouth shut? Thank you. That is a wonderful point. It allows a systemic abuse to occur. So the fact that it happened once and it went unchecked, it allows it to continue, the cycle to continue. This is extremely important point, and I'm really grateful, Mohan Prabhu, for bringing that up. This culture of silence is actually allowing more and more abuse to happen in the society. It encourages the art of abuse to continue, and it in turn creates more people to be victimized, It might happen to one person, then it happened to the second, and then by the time you know, it happened to so many people, It could have stopped when it was noticed right in the beginning, When someone experiences anything that is uncomfortable, they take this approach of sometimes going to someone they trust. This is also very important in the culture of silence is, I know growing up as a girl or as children, we look at our parents as our protectors. And then, if anything happens, I'm going to go to mom or I'm going to go to the dad. Sometimes you have an older brother that you go to, Sometimes you have a trusted member in the community and you're like, this person is my greatest friend and I'm going to go share with them just because something happened. And oftentimes what happens is these people that we trusted to protect us did not take a measure or did not see the importance of it. And so not only were you abused, but now you're violated again just because someone didn't take a stand for you. This is what culture of science does. It's really, really, it's really sad. And this is very prevalent in our society. So I apologize for just going on and on and on about this. It's only to show you the importance that I want to really, really stress today. That I beg each one of you to help us break this culture of silence in our society. Don't think that, you're just coming and complaining about everything. That's okay, I'm here. We're here to listen, whatever that you have to share. But I'd rather have you come and share rather than not say at all, Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav Nityai Gaur Sundar Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai Ki Jai. I have another beautiful quote here. What hurts the victim most is not the cruelty of the oppressor, but the silence of the bystanders. So sometimes it is not even our own family member that is related, but we just notice something that's happening for even a random stranger. That is what contributes to the bystanders. So I encourage every community member here not to remain silent. The Safe Temple Committee is here for you, and we would like to take this and we would like to do our most due diligence in taking appropriate measures, And we definitely want to ensure you that we'll be keeping whatever is shared in a confidential manner. So you do have a Safe Temple committee, but you also have a Safe Temple space here with each one of you. I have few fun practice scenarios. Can we go to the next slide, Prabhu? There you go. All right, some more active participants here will be appreciated. So you are driving here to the temple and you see three wonderful kids. You see Keshav, Jagdish, and Vishnu. That's right, Keshav, Jagdish, and Vishnu. They are playing in the parking lot. What should we do? Let them play? Jagdish says let them play. Yes, he definitely has an opinion. Let them play. Yes. Anyone else? Oh, Vishnu says run around. Wow. So from playing, now it's going to run around. Okay, yes, Keshav? Oh my God, we need more citizens like Keshav here. Absolutely. Can we give a big round of applause here? Keshav, can you repeat that one more time?
Tell them to stop and tell them why.
That's right. Please take the courtesy. Now, obviously, you know these are not Keshav's children. Do we agree with that? Yes, these are not Keshav's children. But he takes a stand and says, please stop playing here. This is not a safe place to play. And you ask them to move. Anything else that we can do? Yes. That's right. That's right. We want to also make sure we tell them. Can we give a big round of applause to the Gopi here? Wonderful. Yes, we want to tell them that there are a lot of cars in the parking lot. So let's go to a proper playground. These are very wonderful wisdoms that our future congregation devotees are sharing. I hope we can learn from them. And as adults, we can also practice them. So even if it is not your child, remember, these are Krishna's children, and so it is a duty of all of us to protect them. So if you see them doing something, please say, If you can't say it to them, try to look for their parent or some other trusted adult in the community so that they would move from the parking lot. So Vishnu, you cannot be running in the parking lot. Yes? All right, rule number 1. Let's go to second one. Next slide, Prabhu. Prasad time. We are almost getting closer to the prasad time. You see some children playing hide and seek. Does that happen in our temple? Yeah, it's very common, exactly. I've been there, done that, not in this temple, but other places. We all did. But this is a huge safety concern. This is a very, very important safety concern. So as much as hide and seek is fun, especially when you have more people, because you can really hide more and not get caught, swirl around, Remember, this protection team is for women, children, cow, and our elders as well. So this can be a huge fall risk for the adults and the prasad lines who are serving. And so they are running upstairs and downstairs. So now they get very creative and they're like, okay, we're going to leave the prasad hall, but we'll start running up and down the stairs. Does this happen all the time? Yeah, it does. Yeah, we love the stairs. And there are some cleaning supplies also in the closet. So, what should we do? Yes. They will definitely slip and fall. We do not want to have any kind of injuries. They can also have some cleaning supplies, which can be hazardous materials. These cleaning supplies are not made from lemon juice and mud. Believe me, there are a lot more chemicals in them. So please, 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 when you see steps and you feel tempted to run, stop and walk. Okay? Any indoor spaces, you should be walking and not running. I hear some running also happening in the hallways here. So I would like to really encourage children and sometimes even adults run. Yes, sometimes even adults run, and that actually is more thunderous sound that creates. So I would like to request everyone to please be safe and not run. Indoor spaces are for walking, okay? You can be 5 minutes late, it's okay, all right? The world is not gonna turn upside down, just let's try to keep the place safe. Yes, Vishnu?
Find a safe place to hide.
Uh-oh. Finding that safe place to hide is, do you think we should be doing that, Vishnu? No. Any place to hide in the temple is not safe. You should not be playing hide and seek, my dear friend. I am going to have a separate session for you today. Can we have the next slide? Weekdays, right now we're in the winter season. The guests are coming a little slow. Soon we are going to be having a lot of guests coming over. And so we are going to have a lot of programs happening on weekdays as well. And so this is very, very important. Children are not to be treated as nuisance or as burden. They are also spirit souls of Krishna. And so it is our duty to engage them in positive activities. So when you have weekday programs, or you have any other Sunday programs and you want to sit in the lecture, you don't have an adult who is going to be taking care or the Sunday school is not happening, please bring with you some coloring, non-noisy toys. I want to make sure I say non-noisy toys that are safe for them to have, so they can be kept at peace, and you can also listen to lecture. Your children can make notes during the lecture. They can draw and do some artwork, They can play some word games. So please try to find some activities that you can do with your children when we have a program that is planned for the weekdays. And this last scenario, and I'm going to stop talking. I know I talk a lot. But I'm going to stop in a few minutes. This last scenario, I want you to really, really pay attention because this actually has happened in our congregation. And this is very, very important that you really hear it from the parent that actually went through this episode. So I'm going to hand over to Radha Leela.
Hare Krishna, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody interacting. You notice someone is taking photographs and or video of our children or your child, and you are running late for your seva. What are some of the things that you could do? First of all, do you think it's right for someone to photograph children or video them? No. So what are some of the things that you all could do?
Maybe fix your hair a little bit better, Maybe smile a little more better and pose for a better picture.
You tell them to stop.
Tell the person to stop, yes.
Thank you. I want to share one incident that has actually happened. It happened with my son, and this was a few years back. He's 19 now, and he was 12 back then. It happened in our old temple. He was approached by two elderly men wanting to photograph him. And it actually, I was alerted. I didn't know about it before. And a very alert member of our community came and mentioned it to me. And I approached them and I said, how could I help them? And they said that they wanted to photograph him. And I didn't tell them that I was his mom. I just said, no, you're not allowed to photograph him. I am his mom and I don't give permission. And you're not allowed to photograph any child on anywhere without permission from their parents. The point is not what I said to them, but the point is that they actually wanted to take his picture. And for whatever reason they wanted to take his picture. And the biggest thing is that I was alerted by somebody in our congregation. I'm looking at Mohan Prabhu because it was actually Mohan Prabhu who came up and told me. So what that made me realize is how important it is for us to stay alert. It's not just about my child. It's about each and every child in this community. I want to take a second before I move into the next part of our presentation which is focused a lot on children. But I understand that this presentation is not our usual norm of Sunday program, and it can be a little uncomfortable. So, but I also want you to understand that this is a very important aspect of our community. We are very blessed. We have such a strong congregation. By day, I see that our congregation is growing, and it's wonderful. Each and every member over here are part of our Baltimore family, and those even listening online. That being said, we provide so many different classes and nurturing time for our devotees, whether it's for reading, for our spiritual growth, or making friends. But the core component of our society falls on safety. So it's also important for all of us to address it. And it's not just Neil Mother Prabhu's responsibility for safety for all of us, or the committee. It is actually everybody's responsibility. If you're part of our family, and you are, it is also your responsibility to be very alert. So we'll move on to the next part of our presentation. We've listed some of the things that are dangerous in our temple as well. We may not even think about it, but they are. We don't let our kids roam around in Target and Walmart not knowing where they are. So why think that temple is also one of those places where we can just, of course, we trust everybody, we want to trust, but then why leave them somewhere where we don't know where they are? So it's important to understand that temples also are not immune to danger. Some of the things that we even mentioned before was cleaning supplies, spaces under stairs. That's also a good place to hide, I know. Cars, traffic in the parking lot, animals, proximity to strangers. I left out two particular other dangerous areas. And can you think of other two areas that could be very dangerous for children to be on by themselves?
The elevator.
Elevator, yes.
That was a good observation. Thank you.
Oh, you said that? Jagdish said that. He knows. Elevators. One more. Children should not be riding the elevator without adults in there. What if they get stuck? What if something unforeseen happens? We would not know. One more. What are other places that are dangerous? Not playground. Something else in our temple. Stairs. Parking lot we've mentioned. The kitchen. Oh, close. Say it again.
Closed rooms.
Closed rooms. On every floor of our temple, we have closets. Closets that can open, closets where potentially children may get locked. So we have to be very aware and mindful. Say it again, Mother Prabhu. No kids are allowed in the kitchen, Neil Mother Prabhu is saying, and that's a given. But please be very mindful of where children roam around in our temple. Yes, Mataji? Yes, thank you. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, that's another one. Mataji mentioned the railings that we have up on top are also not safe, especially when children are trying to lean over. And then we had the bathroom. Please make sure that every child is accompanied by an adult. And the cooler downstairs, yes. So who said that? Thank you, Jagdish. So Jagdish mentioned the cooler downstairs. The doors are very hard. If the child gets behind in the cooler, it's sometimes very hard for the child to open the door himself. You need a little bit of strength to open. So yes, getting in the cooler, thank you, Jagdish, is important to watch out for as well. Yes. Okay, next slide. This is a quote from Srila Prabhupada, and I just wanted to put the emphasis on it. Prabhupada tells us that take care of our children, they are our hopes. I'll just read the quote, the one above. These children are given to us by Krishna. They are Vaishnavas, and we must be careful to protect them. These are not ordinary children, they are Vaikuntha children, and we are very fortunate to give them chance to further their Krishna consciousness. Do not neglect it or get confused. Your duty is very clear. It's important to always follow Prabhupada's instructions, and our committee brought this over, also basing this for the Safe Temple. The next slide, please. So here are some guidelines that we follow. Children, at least one parent should be with children under 12 at all times. During prasad, during lecture, time in between, any time in temple, one adult has to be responsible enough to be with the children. Kids above 12 doing service will be monitored by whoever is leading the service. And if you receive any disclosure, please report it to the Safe Temple Committee. Like Vishnupriya Mataji had mentioned before, we pay a lot of attention to the confidential, and we hope that you feel comfortable enough to come up to us or even Nilmada Prabhu to let us know. If you see something unsafe at temple, please let us know. But that being said, I really liked when I think one of the kids here said that what they would do instead, even though they're not your individual child, but make sure you do make an attempt to keep them safe before even reporting to us. And think about supervision for children, especially when there are programs. I like what Vishnupriya Mataji was saying. We have wonderful Matajis here who actually bring coloring pages and activities for the children to do. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise one child. How many of you have heard this before? Yeah, thank you. It does take a village. And the concept of having a village community to take care of one child is not new. It actually comes to us from our own scriptures. Think of Krishna's Leela in Putana Leela. He was so little. Was it just Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya who ran to see where Krishna is? No, they weren't only them. It was all the Brajvasis who ran behind as well. Krishna was not just Nand Baba and Yashoda Maya's child. He was a child of everybody. You may think, oh, but he was Krishna. He's God. But the feeling of that affection that they had was for Krishna. It's the same concept for all of us having that safe and nurturing environment for all of our children. Not just my child or her child, but for all of our children. So if you see something, remember the point is to stay alert and to stay motivated to do something to keep them safe, and also to let us know. Anything of immediate danger, you can call 911 or even let us know. Next slide. This is a link which actually gives numbers to the child protection services for every county. I'm not able to click on it because of our with our slideshow not working very well. But I will probably put it, as request Nilmada Prabhu, to probably put it on our ISKCON Baltimore site. If any of you need the numbers, you can call on those numbers as well. Last but not least, next slide, please. Last but not least, we want to thank Nilmada Prabhu for always allowing us to, and keeping safety for everybody and allowing us to do this presentation. Thank you, Nilmada Prabhu. If you have any questions, this would be a good time. I'm sorry it ran a little over and it got a little lengthy, but it was important to cover all the important points.
Please remember to have your first name, last name on those sign-up sheets. Vijay Prabhu is standing with the clipboards. If you did not get to put your name, if you have a name, doesn't matter how old you are. If you have a name, you should put it on the sheet. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. I think the SAFE committee, we're really appreciative of them. And I think you'll be seeing the presence more. And if they come and talk to you, please make sure they're authorized with the temple to make decisions regarding this. So always they're open, but they're also there to see if there's something going on. Hare Krishna.